criticism over your decision to reject public funds for your campaign. How do you reconcile that with your pledge to bring high politics to Washington? You talked about the role of small donors, but certainly movers and shakers are having a role too. You met with Hollywood donors last night, and you're going to meet with some of Senator Clinton's donors tomorrow night. And I'm just wondering, are you worried about the precedent that your decision is going to set?
Well, we talked about this, I think, in Florida. I answered almost exactly the same question, so I'll say it again. We haven't just sort of done better with small donors. We've, I think, revolutionized how campaigns are financed at the presidential level. 90% of our donors provide donations of $200 or less, 90%. So the overwhelming bulk of the 1.7, I think, million donors that we get money from are ordinary Americans, not fat cats. We don't take special interest money in the form of PAC donations. We don't take money from federal lobbyists. We have implemented a program where the Democratic National Committee is also not taking money from those sources. And so if you look at how we fund our campaign, we are more reliant on small donors and ordinary Americans than any campaign in history. We've also been more transparent than other campaigns in terms of where we get our money from. Do we have some big donors? Absolutely. But that's not what drives our campaign. And as a consequence, we're actually in a position where if a large donor wants to contribute to us but wants something in return, I can afford to simply say, no, I'm not interested. There's no single donor in our campaign or group of donors on which we depend, because our donor base is the American people. And that is exactly what has always been the end of campaign reform. Now, public financing was one means of achieving that end, of freeing ourselves from special interest domination. And I feel confident that we've achieved it. And you know, if you contrast how I'm funding my campaign with John McCain, for example, he's more reliant on lobbyists, more reliant on PACs, more reliant on special interests. There are no constraints to what the Republican National Committee can do. So we could have made a choice to go through the public financing system and then, with a wink and a nod, have all this big money go into the RNC, or in our case, the DNC, in which case, and that's what we've been doing in the past. But I don't think that that lives up to the spirit of what we're trying to achieve in terms of campaign reform.
But what about the precedent-setting nature of this, and is there a way to fix the system?
Well, I think, as I said even earlier in the year, I felt that the system was broken, and I still want to see if we can fix it. And I think that part of what we're going to have to do is to create a system in which all spending is transparent, and you don't have an artificial public financing sector that's strictly limited, and then huge amounts of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, that are being spent outside that system. And that's been my goal from the start.